My wife left while I fought for my life. Years later, she returned begging forgiveness, but my new life showed her the answer she deserved. Back then, both of us were 25. We had been dating for about 3 years after college, and we got married because it seemed like the most obvious next step, as we were both happy with each other. We had been married for about 4 months when I was suddenly diagnosed with stage 2 cervical cancer. There had been signs for a couple of months, but we chalked them up to general exhaustion and minor illnesses. When things started getting worse, we had to take my condition seriously, and that's when I was diagnosed. After that, I was in and out of the hospital regularly. For the first couple of months, Jenny was extremely helpful. She took great care of me, handled all the medical reports, and kept in touch with the doctors. I felt like I didn't have to worry about anything at all. Even when I started chemotherapy and began losing my hair, she shaved her head in solidarity with me. In short, she was literally perfect. But then, she started losing faith when I didn't get better after almost 6 months had passed, and I had undergone several rounds of treatment. I was not showing any signs of progress and was slowly but steadily getting worse. She started distancing herself from me, and even when I tried to get her to talk, she would shut me out. I was already going through a lot, and her behavior made me feel like I was being rejected. I couldn't take that, so I started picking fights with her just to get her attention. It seemed to work for a while, but then she moved even further away from me emotionally. Finally, about 2 weeks before our 1-year wedding anniversary, I woke up one day to find her gone. All she had left was a note on our bedside table telling me not to go looking for her because she did not want to be found. I thought she was playing a prank or something, so I tried to call her and sent several messages, but none of them went through. After a couple of minutes, I realized she had blocked me. Not just my phone number, but also on social media. I started panicking and called my in-laws. They told me they knew nothing of this and said they would get back to me as soon as possible, but they never did. I told my parents about it, and they moved in with me to take care of me in her absence, which we assumed would be just a couple of days. Unfortunately, she never came back. After she disappeared, I tried my best to look for her, but I was never able to find her again. She was just gone for good. It took me a really long time to recover from that emotionally, and I was incredibly depressed for a long time. Afterward, I tried getting in touch with my in-laws several times after her disappearance, but after that first phone call, they never responded. A month later, they visited me, but they were acting very cold and weird. They disclosed that they were only there because they needed to serve me with divorce papers. I was devastated and realized they had been in touch with Jenny, but they refused to let on anything else. I was told she wanted nothing to do with me anymore, and that she was really sorry, but it had to end this way because she couldn't waste her life with me anymore. I was really hurt because I could tell the only reason she left was because I had cancer, and she didn't want to take care of me anymore. I understood what she was going through. It must have been tough on her, but the least she could have done was have a conversation with me. After 3 years of being together and 1 year of marriage, I think we owed each other one honest and transparent conversation about our feelings. But she didn't think she owed me even that, and that's why she left without a word. It took me a while to come to terms with it emotionally, but after her parents served me with the divorce papers, I signed off on them without any drama. It was already pretty obvious to me that there was nothing left to fight for in this relationship, so it was better to just let it go in a dignified way. I had a lawyer go over everything with a fine-tooth comb, but in all honesty, her terms were pretty fair. In 1 year of marriage, we didn't really have any joint assets, and neither of us wanted to drag this out. After the waiting period, we finalized our divorce without even coming face to face with each other. Everything I had to communicate was handled through my lawyer, her parents, and her lawyer. Since it was an uncontested divorce, there was no need for us to meet. After that, I didn't hear from my in-laws either. Even though I was completely shattered, I knew I had to keep going somehow. My condition had started worsening because of the heartbreak I had gone through. Although my parents were trying to be strong for me, I could tell it was hard for them to see me like this. For their sake, I knew I couldn't just give up on my life, even though it probably would have been easy for me back then. I decided I was going to fight for my life, and I don't know if it was a mental thing or if the treatment started working, but somehow I managed to make it through. I'm doing fine right now, and for the past 3 months, I've been cancer-free. It wasn't easy for me at all, and for the past 4 years, all I've done is try to be thankful for my life. Part of that gratitude meant I was ready to give myself a second chance at love. That's why I agreed to let my ex, Anna, move in with me 6 months ago. Some background information about me and Anna: we met in college and dated for 2 years but parted ways shortly after graduation because we wanted different things from life. Anna and I were part of a larger circle, and that's actually how I knew Jenny, since she was part of the same circle. After we graduated from college, Anna and I didn't exactly keep in touch. A couple of months after Anna and I broke up, Jenny reached out to me, and we started talking. We became friends, and within a few months she confessed to me. She told me that even when we were in college, she had always had feelings for me, but never acted on them because I was with Anna. Now that we had broken up, she wanted to ask me out. After a couple of months, I finally said yes. That's how Jenny and I ended up together. Even after we got serious about our relationship, Jenny always seemed a bit insecure about Anna. So, even though I had been friends with Anna after our breakup, I ended up slowly phasing her out of my life and eventually blocking her altogether because I knew Jenny didn't feel comfortable with Anna. Our common friends told me that Anna had been very disappointed that I had ghosted and blocked her after I got with Jenny. But honestly, there was nothing else I could do. At the time, Jenny was more important to me than anyone else because I was very serious about her. Eventually, I ended up marrying Jenny and forgot about Anna altogether. But then Jenny and I got divorced. Even though I never posted about it on social media or went public with it, I did tell a few friends, and I'm guessing that's how Anna found out about our divorce and my diagnosis. 5 months after my divorce was finalized, Anna reached out to me via email. She told me she was really sorry about everything I was going through, both the divorce and the cancer. She also said she would really like to be friends again but would understand if I didn't feel comfortable with it. She was very sweet in that email and ended by saying she wanted me to know she would always be there for me if I ever needed someone to talk to. Back then, I was still reeling from the shock of Jenny leaving me, so I didn't respond to Anna's email for 10 months. I thought about it from time to time and even considered responding, but I couldn't bring myself to do it until 10 months later, when I had finally made peace with the fact that Jenny had left and wasn't coming back. I had told a few of my friends about it, and they insisted I at least talk to Anna in a friendly capacity, so that's what I did. I didn't have any intention of getting back together with her. I just wanted to clear the air between us because she was obviously making an effort to do the same. I responded to her in a completely platonic capacity, and that's how we got to talking. Eventually, we went back to being really good friends, and it was nice to have someone to talk to regularly, especially since Anna really understands me more than anyone else, to be honest. I had other friends, but with her I'd always had something special, and talking to her made me happy. My parents also noticed that and encouraged me to keep talking to her, even if we were just friends. For a few months, we only spoke online, and then she started visiting me at home. Slowly but surely, we started getting closer again. Even though I wasn't ready to get back with her or anything like that, she didn't give up on me. Last year, she finally told me she had never really fallen out of love with me. Getting to know that I had started dating Jenny had been a huge heartbreak for her, but knowing I was happy was enough for her to stay away from both of us. Now that Jenny was gone and we had become friends again, she felt she had to tell me the truth. She loved me. She didn't expect me to get back with her, but she needed to get it off her chest. I appreciated her honesty, but I was very confused because it had been 3 years since my divorce. I always felt uneasy thinking about Jenny and our past together because we never really got any closure. So, I was conflicted about whether I should try to move on or not, even though I really liked Anna and was pretty sure I loved her now, even more than I had before. My parents and friends talked to me and reminded me that it had been 3 whole years since my divorce. If Jenny hadn't come back by now, it meant she never cared about me and never would. They convinced me to stop living in the past and give Anna a chance. A couple of weeks after her confession, I decided to get back with her. After a few months of being back together, she told me she wanted to be the one to take care of me. She said she wanted to move in with me, and after giving it some thought, My parents and I decided that since she already spent most of her time with me at my house, it would be better for her to just move in. So, I agreed to let her move in. Since then, we have been staying together, and it's been great. I love having her around. A couple of weeks after she moved in, once she was familiar with my routine, my parents moved out. They still visit me regularly, but they finally have some time for themselves as well, and I guess they really appreciate it. I'm not ready for a second marriage as of now, but Anna and I have discussed the idea, and maybe in some time we will think about getting married. Everything was just perfect until earlier this week, when Jenny reached out to me. She had finally unblocked me everywhere and sent me a message on Facebook. She said she realized she had treated me badly, and that I didn't deserve it. She acknowledged it wasn't in my control that I had been diagnosed with cancer and wasn't responding well to treatment, but she had gotten frustrated and did the cowardly thing by taking off without discussing it with me. She said she owed me closure and honesty more than anything and wanted to get back together with me because in the past 4 years all she had done was miss me terribly. She said she was ready to give our marriage a second chance, even if it meant she would have to take care of me for the rest of her life. I decided to ask her to visit me, but not for the reasons she believed. Here's where I might have been the asshole because my intentions were clear. I was trying to hurt her. I hadn't posted about my diagnosis or recovery anywhere, only my family and close friends knew I was fine now, so she obviously assumed I was still struggling with cancer. After taking 4 years off, she decided to come back to me. It was so insulting that she believed I would take her back after how she had treated me and pretended I wasn't even a part of her life for the past 4 years. I was furious when I read that message because it was clear she genuinely believed I would take her back. No questions asked. She hadn't even bothered to explain what she had been doing for the past 4 years. That's how confident she seemed. I was very upset about it, so I decided I was going to teach her a lesson. I invited her home just to show her my new life. She had no idea I was staying with Anna because I've never been one to go public with my relationships. I only posted about Jenny online when we got married, so very few people know about my relationship with Anna, and obviously none of these people have been in touch with Jenny. When Jenny showed up at my house a couple of days ago with flowers and chocolates, the first thing I did after opening the door was call Anna to the door. I told Jenny that, while I appreciated her apology, the flowers and the chocolates, I had moved on with my life and didn't want her back. She immediately started losing it because, obviously, Anna was the one person she was extremely insecure about and always had been. She started freaking out at me, saying I had betrayed her and even accused me of cheating on her. I don't understand how it counts as cheating if I hadn't been with her when I started dating Anna again, but anyway, I didn't care about her reaction because all I wanted to do was give her a shock, and I had succeeded. While she was having a mental breakdown on my porch, I decided to shut the door, and Anna and I went back to watching TV. For the record, I hadn't told Anna about my plan, but she didn't have a problem with what I had done. However, my parents and friends thought there was no reason for me to do this. They said I could have just let it go because this was me inviting toxicity into my life again. If I'm being honest, I don't think they were wrong. After she left that day, my in-laws haven't stopped trying to contact me because they think I've been completely heartless. They said that if I had moved on already, I shouldn't have agreed to invite their daughter over and give her false hopes. They claimed she had been feeling sorry about everything she had done and wanted to fix things with me, which is why she had taken the effort to reach out and visit me. They're accusing me of trying to ruin her mental health on purpose and even have the audacity to suspect I had an affair with Anna all along, even though they know for a fact that for the past 4 years, I had nothing on my mind apart from getting better. Before we got married, I had blocked Anna out of my life altogether just for Jenny, so I don't understand how they have the audacity to accuse me of having an affair. They're trying to make me out to be the villain, and acting as if their daughter was completely innocent in this whole situation. My parents and friends have told me what I did was unnecessary. They understand I felt the need to get back at her, but at the end of the day, it was kind of petty. They're not making a big deal out of it, but they've spoken their mind, and I feel kind of guilty about what I did. I could have avoided all the drama if I had just not responded to her at all. I knew I had been petty, but now I feel bad. However, I still don't think I need to apologize to her because I don't think it's such a big deal, especially not as big as her parents are making it out to be. She literally left me while I was fighting for my life and went missing for the next 4 years, not even showing up for our divorce. Her parents also haven't tried to be apologetic for it, so I don't understand why I'm expected to be forgiving and just let everything go, especially when my in-laws know how their daughter treated me back then. I spoke to my parents and friends about why I did what I did. I don't deny that I was petty, and I definitely don't deny that it was completely unnecessary. I could have avoided all the drama by just not responding to her, but I felt like I needed some closure. I didn't think things through and made the decision in the heat of the moment, so it was probably not the best way to deal with it, but I don't have any regrets about it either. My parents and friends didn't have much to say. We just decided not to talk about it because it wasn't worth it. It wasn't as bad as you might think. I guess I might not have communicated properly in the post, but to be clear, my parents and friends weren't insisting that I apologize to my ex or anything. They just said they didn't agree with what I had done and left it at that. They didn't try to guilt-trip me like my in-laws were doing. Now that we've spoken about it, we've decided to agree to disagree. It's not a big deal for them, and nothing in our relationship has changed, so we're fine. The only problem I'm dealing with right now is my in-laws. They're very upset with what I did, and think I emotionally tortured their daughter by inviting her over. They believe I owe her a huge apology. I'm not joking. They've sent me several emails telling me I need to apologize to her in person and clarify that I didn't have anything to do with Anna while we were together, because apparently she's completely broken down. I don't understand why my in-laws expect so much of me, especially since we haven't had much of a relationship since the divorce. They knew what their daughter did to me was incredibly wrong, yet they were on her side and helped her hide from me during the divorce. I'm not completely blaming them, but they were a huge part of the reason I was never able to get any emotional closure from Jenny while we were separating. So, how was it okay back then, but now, since it's Jenny's mental health at risk, I suddenly need to talk to her and give her an explanation for everything. She didn't think she owed me that back then, and neither did her parents. I'm just playing by the same rulebook now. And I've had no problems, but of course, that probably didn't sit well with Jenny and her parents. Anna and I work from home, but I guess they didn't know that. They probably assumed Anna wouldn't be home if they showed up in the morning. Jenny and her parents visited me this morning, and when I opened the door they started demanding that I speak to Jenny and give her an explanation for everything because she's been very confused and they can't allow their daughter to go through this. I literally rolled my eyes at them and told them I wasn't entertaining any of this nonsense. I said I didn't owe them anything because Jenny didn't bother to give me an explanation when she left, and now she could think whatever she wanted. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of getting an explanation or a reaction out of me. The only reason I opened the door was to say this to their faces. Then I told them that if they didn't leave, I would call the cops. Jenny started screaming at me, saying, "I came back for you. And you did this to me after everything I've done. How could you?" She called me a horrible human being for what I had done, accused me of being petty and selfish, and then started cursing at me. When she started screaming, Anna heard it and came to my side. She looked furious, and I could tell it was taking everything she had to keep herself from going off on Jenny. I didn't want that, so I took out my phone and told Jenny and her parents they had to leave, or I really would call the cops. After bickering with me for a couple of seconds, they finally left because I had started dialing, though they didn't let go of the opportunity to curse at me some more. That didn't affect me, though it really made Anna mad, and she cursed right back at them. Finally, they left. Luckily, Anna told me she had started recording everything on her phone. Even though there's hardly any video of this happening, she has a full audio recording of Jenny yelling at me, and she didn't stop recording until they left. Now that we have this, we know for a fact that the next time they show up, we won't only be pressing charges against them, but will also contact our lawyers to file a restraining order against Jenny and her family. I really hope we don't have to go through all that, and that they leave me alone after this because I think I've said everything I needed to. It's been a couple of days since Jenny and her parents showed up at my house. After that, they didn't try to contact me anymore, and I was really relieved. I spoke to a couple of my friends about what happened, and they told me what I did was kind of petty and unnecessary. They said the way Jenny and her parents were reacting was unhinged, and thought it would be wise for me to speak to a lawyer just in case. But I don't think I'll need to do that because last night, I received an email from Jenny. She told me she's moving to Europe with her parents and will never bother me again. Apparently, after she left me, she moved to California for a new job she had applied for while still with me. She couldn't bring herself to talk to me about it, because she knew it was impossible for me to relocate at that time, and she didn't want me to even consider it. However, she felt like a horrible human being for leaving me while I was struggling to live. So she admitted to being a coward, and said she left to avoid any confrontation. Even though she had a couple of flings in the past 4 years, she could never get serious with anyone because she always regretted what had gone wrong with me. Recently, she applied for a position in Europe and had been back here for a couple of months to convince her parents to move with her and have a fresh start. That's why she reached out to me. She wanted to apologize and give our relationship another shot. After seeing me with Anna the other day, she realized she had no right to intrude in our lives, especially not after everything she put me through. She also said she and her parents had no right to question me. She's now doing the decent thing and leaving me alone. She said she doesn't expect to be forgiven because all of this is coming too late and is too little, but she wanted to apologize for everything she had done. She admitted she was a coward and had no right to throw tantrums or send her parents after me. She knows Anna loves me, and I'm happy with her, so she's going to stay away from me now. I'm really glad she came to this conclusion. I didn't reply to that email, but I did have Anna, my friends, and my parents read it. They think this is good enough to put an end to everything that's been going on, and I agree. Now we can all finally move on from this. This is good because, in a couple of months, I think I'd like to get married to Anna and start a new chapter in my life with her. I guess I finally got the closure I needed, and I'm ready to get married again, start a family, and live my life to the fullest once more.